Hello and welcome. This is from the CBN. We bring to you weekly reports and expert analysis of the actions, policies, and economic initiatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. I am Misi Dada. The newly introduced Forex repatriation program of the CBN RT200FX has started generating reactions from trade organizations and economic watchers. For instance, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry LCCI, as well as the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise CPPE, both commended the initiative, but noted that critical export infrastructure and right policies will be needed to hit the target. The RT200FX program aims to attain $200 billion in forex repatriation through non-oil exports in the next 3 to 5 years. It is based on 5 key anchors, including biannual non-oil export summit, the first of which is expected to hold in the first week of April. Ahead of this summit, we're starting the conversation here with stakeholders in the non-oil export domain. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
In recognition of the lessons we have learned from our rounds of consultation with non-oil exporters, we believe that a more formal, predetermined, and regular forum will be necessary to discuss the issues, challenges, and opportunities in this segment of the economy. That is the reason today we are announcing the introduction of a biannual non-oil export summit, the first of which will be organized during the first week of April 2022.
So we're counting down to the summit because problems relating to non-oil export will be identified and solved, leading to the realization of a more robust economy that is less dependent on crude oil and less susceptible to external shocks. Here's the first of our conversations on the CBN RT200FX program, raised to $200 billion non-oil forex repatriation.
I have the pleasure of speaking with the Export Group Chairman, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry LCCI, Mrs. Bosun Sholari. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me being here.
Now, you retired from the civil service and you started a small business before your foray into agri-produce export. Can you briefly tell us what informed your transition into agri-produce export?
I retired from civil service in 2004, and before I went into agri, I had done dry cleaning. But for me, going into agri was like the government was encouraging non-oil business, and which agri, and then they were trying to encourage agri business. And because agriculture is the mainstay of most economies in the world, so I decided to go into it because then I kept looking for how I can actually go into agri, so I kept going from one seminar to the other. And one day I stumbled on Pretty Miss Farmer at a conference at this time. And she said, there are 200 million Nigerians. If each person eats 100 naira morning, evening, night, that would be 300. Then that would be 66 billion. And she said, how much is your own? And I'm like, wow, this is a gold mine. And so that was how I ventured into agri business. So I went to get a land, paid for it. And that's how I started. I started with plantain. I joined ginger. And then later, 2 years down the line, I ventured into agri processing because then I had joined ITC and I did some courses, about 42 courses till date. I have certificates from International Trade Center, SME Academy. And then going from there, I joined She Trades in the Commonwealth because they were working on 4 countries in Africa to take 3,000 women into the international markets. So that's how I joined She Trades with my ginger and turmeric. And so today, I have about 36 products that I process, store my market, and then they are packaged in international standard. I have 5 of the products already registered with NAFDAC. And then going from there, that's how I entered into the export business.
All right. That sounds very interesting. And what would you consider the top let's say, top three challenges of non-oil exporting in Nigeria?
My major three challenges that I could say, we're having challenges with NAFDA. It is true. Any food from Nigeria going international must have proper certification. But like the vice president said recently, over certification, over regulation is killing our businesses here. Food safety is very important to know. But when you over regulate, because I have about 5 built up structures with good machines that I use, very clean environment. But because I'm still a micro business, you are insisting I cannot register more than 5 products. The cost is becoming too high because we have complained. Recently during COVID, the office of the vice president helped us with 8,000 naira. If you must remove it from 8,000, why up to almost 40,000? If I'm doing the 6th product, NAFDA says it's 90,000 to add with on just to get one more product to be fine. How are we going to compete? By the time everything is too high and I take my goods to the international level, how do I compete? Where is the money? The banks are not giving you money. That's another stress to go into, because the banks will tell you it is people's money and they must report back to the shareholders. It is true. But if we cannot get our people to support us, who is going to support us? People in export are crying today that other nationalities are in the farms, are in the villages in Osun State, in Oyo State. And I keep telling some of these people, because they have money and our people take them into the villages. What we cannot buy, they have come with the money with low digit rates interest, and they are all over. Most of our people cannot even export again because they don't have the money. And then the commodities are being priced out of our range. So we have all these issues. And then another one is that the cost of freight, even when you come by all this one and you see me to transport those things, it's so high. Sometimes last year in August, I just 500 grams of just 60 packs of my products that were going to Amazon. I paid 161,000 just for 60 packs, and that's just 30 kg because it's 500 grams each. 60 packs of it, I paid 161,000. And so by the time you put all that cost, there's no help from anywhere. How do you break it? How do you make it in business? And we're looking for revenue from non-oil exports. We need to do more. I know the government now has been trying to help farmers, trying to help, like recently, Export Promotions Council trying to give export expansion. But I keep telling them, majority of the people into value addition now, because the common export we used to talk about before has been on commodities. So we need to encourage value addition, and government is trying to encourage it, but are we doing enough? The technical incubation centers for those who don't have their machines, many of them are not functioning properly. So we now have to have each person trying to go and build up their factories. Where's the money?
Talking about value addition, and talking about the challenges, you have listed overregulation, you've listed funding, and you have listed the challenge of freight as the top three in your experience. And the funding aspect of the challenge, apart from other challenges, is one major thing that the new initiative of the Central Bank of Nigeria is going to address. I'm talking about the raise to $200 billion repatriation, foreign exchange repatriation in 3 to 5 years that has just been introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria. And with that, is going to address, make available facility for value-adding exports and the non-oil commodity expansion, like a business like yours that is already established, you want to expand, the facility will be there. Among other things, there will be also rebate scheme for non-oil exports. Now, the CBN RT200 Forex program also entail biannual non-oil export summit, where critical stakeholders like you and other exporters and government agencies will be coming together to talk about challenges and the way forward. Which agencies? You've mentioned NAFDAC, certainly, but which other agencies do you think are critical that should be part of the summit because it is coming up in April?
I've mentioned NAFDAC, NEPC, of course, we know their stakeholders, NIPC, the Investment Portfolio of Government, the Ministry of Trade and Investment, state governments, where state government ministries of commerce must be there. BSO, business support organizations, business membership organizations must be there because they have people that they have advocated as their members. So these are critical stakeholders. Then, of course, banks will always be there because they expect that any fund that is coming out will go out through them.
What are the top areas that Nigeria has comparative advantage? What are those commodities? What are those semi-processed or processed agri-produce that can earn Nigeria good foreign exchange, substantial foreign exchange?
They still prefer to get your cocoa because that's what they use for their chocolate. They prefer to get our ginger raw because they use it. But if our government and our people we can help in value addition, and then they're not seeing it, even if they're going to buy semi-processed, we're not going to keep giving them our raw materials because the danger in the raw materials they buy, they dictate the prices. Somebody just tells you this is how much I'm buying, and our people are even selling these things at a loss because maybe they have told you and then you have the thing there, you can't sell it. So you have to bend to what they dictate. But if I have my ginger in split form that is dried, I can keep it for 1 year. If you want, you are the one who will come and meet me. But I can't put raw ginger like that because it will grow mold. It will grow all sorts of, it will have all sorts of contaminations. So if there are ways we can help, at least even if we cannot finish it, how can we bring it into a middle form, semi-process? Those ones will earn us more money because then we're not going to be at the dictates of whoever wants to buy to say, okay, you must force me to buy. For instance, I sell catfish. Those who farm catfish, they must sell. They're always looking for how to sell in the sense that if you leave them in the water, you keep feeding them. But if I have dried my fish, my dry fish can last for 1 year. That I make most of it. So nobody is going to dictate my price to you. It's the price, if you want to eat it, is the price I want to sell. So you're looking for most of our commodities, if we either take them to a semi-processed form. For instance, ginger, one of my products is ginger powder. Ginger, turmeric, 3-in-1, ginger mixed powder. Those are spices that will last for over 2 years. So nobody is going to force me to sell it at any price anyhow because I have added value to it and I know they are dry enough and they can stand the test of time.
All right. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I'm sure we'll be calling on you again to talk more about the race to $200 billion repatriation of Forex by the CBN as time goes on. Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, I see. Just hold on. In that case, let me call out my PIN. It is 41.
Uncle, please stop.
Stop what?
You're giving someone else your personal identification number PIN?
Not someone else. It's from my bank.
Please hang up, Uncle. That's a fraudster.
That's not true. But they call out my full name. I am sure this is from my bank.
Uncle, no bank is ever going to call you to ask for your personal identification number PIN, your mobile banking password, or your card verification code, CVC.
But it sounded so genuine.
Yes, hackers and fraudsters always sound genuine. But please, Uncle, don't fall for their bait. Don't respond to any phony emails, text message, SMS, and don't click on any link you're not sure of.
Even if they call your date of birth or your BVN, don't give them your security details.
If you suspect any issue with your account, please go to your bank.
Oh, I see.
This message is from the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Thanks for staying tuned. And if you're just joining us, this is from the CBN, a weekly program that brings to you reports and expert analysis of the actions, policies, and economic initiatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. In this episode, we have brought to you the first of our conversations with stakeholders in the non-oil export domain ahead of the biannual export summit in April towards the attainment of the $200 billion forex repatriation RT200 FX initiative of the CBN. The conversation continues in subsequent episodes. But in the meantime, let us remind you about the Brown Revolution, another initiative of the CBN to develop the wheat value chain and ensure self-sufficiency in local wheat production.
With the advent of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN initiated Anchor Borrowers Program ABP in November 2015, came a revolution across the value chains of many agricultural commodities, with rice taking center stage. As at the last count in October 2021, over 3.7 million farmers in 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory FCT had been financed to produce 21 commodities on 4.8 million hectares of land, creating over 5 million jobs in the process. Following successes recorded in the rice value chain, the CBN has beamed its focus on other commodities where the country has competitive advantage and which hugely impact on the country's foreign reserve through importation. According to data from the Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, Nigeria, which is the third highest importer of wheat in Africa, shipped in an average of 5.2 million tons between 2018 and 2019. Records from the Central Bank of Nigeria also indicate that wheat is one of the food commodities with the highest food import bill at over $2 billion per annum. Unfortunately, local production has fallen short of local demand by 99%, leading to the annual importation of 5.2 million tons of wheat by processors. To reverse the negative narrative, the CBN has developed a strategy to eliminate the importation of wheat in Nigeria. The CBN strategy is anchored on making high-yield seed variety available through implementation of a local seed multiplication program, expanding land under cultivation for wheat through collaboration with state and federal agencies, increasing the annual cycle for wheat cultivation to include rain-fed wheat, and promoting good agronomic practices, GAP, for wheat cultivation through international collaboration.
Honestly, I really appreciated the timely intervention of CBN in the seed system of our wheat value chain. Yes, Lakeland Research Institute has the mandate for the genetic improvement of wheat in this country, and they have been able to release about 13 varieties of wheat varieties that are heat resistant, that are also for irrigated and rainfed conditions. With the intervention of CBN, honestly, we can be rest assured that with the quantum of wheat seed that are in the country now, within the next 3 years, Nigeria should attain 50% self-sufficiency in wheat production. All things being equal, there's no doubt about that. If we manage these materials very well, even under farmers' condition, a farmer should be able to get 5 to 6 tons per hectare, because this variety yielded about 8 to 10 tons per hectare in Mexico.
A quick check indicates that the strategy has borne some early fruits, as the bank, through the Seed Multiplication Program initiative, has increased the local stock of high-yield seed variety from 0 in 2020 to over 20,000 metric tons currently, with a firm plan for local sustainable seed production. Over 161 Extension Service officers have also been trained nationwide on GAP. This number will increase to about 600 before the commencement of the dry season cultivation. The high-yield seed from the CBN program has been cultivated in Sokoto with very impressive yield and acceptability by farmers. Based on available data, average national wheat yield is about 1 ton per hectare. The seed from the CBN program is expected to increase yield to between 5 to 7 tons per hectare, thereby boosting overall national productivity. Furthermore, the bank has engaged the services of agronomists of global acclaim who were crucial to assisting India and Ethiopia to achieve self-sufficiency in wheat production to transfer the necessary skills to Nigerian farmers to enable them replicate similar successes.
I would commend CBN for the time they have taken out to see the possibility of making history in Nigeria. We've heard so many times in different countries, Mexico, Ethiopia, how they multiply seeds, right, to generate more seeds to plant to feed the different nations. This is the first time this is happening in Nigeria, and we dared to try it in the rainy season, considering the different climate changes. CBN went out of their way to actually bring in the experts from Mexico and Ethiopia to train us on the right agronomical practices to follow. And I must say it was very educative, very enlightening. We had a lot to learn from it, even though it's brilliant. It's a good idea. A lot of us are happy. The CBN is doing everything they can, and I must commend them to improve the food system in Nigeria, to improve the standard of living in Nigeria. It's a brilliant initiative, it is a good idea, and it has the potential of making Nigeria's food system a better one.
One key achievement of the wheat program is the cultivation of 700 hectares of rain-fed wheat in Jos, which is the first of its kind in Nigeria. The success of this program will further boost local output and add to the seed bank. Due to the transformational nature of the wheat program to food security and import substitution, the program has been tagged the Brown Revolution. As part of the mass production of wheat for the 2021 dry season, over 300,000 farmers would produce wheat on 540,000 hectares of land in 16 states using high-yield seed variety from the CBN Seed Multiplication Program. This will cut down wheat importation by 50% this farming season and save the country about $1 billion in forex. This is in line with the bank's strategic plan that seeks to eliminate wheat importation in 3 years. The journey to attaining self-sufficiency in wheat production in Nigeria is not an easy one, but stakeholders agree that the wheat revolution is one that will be achieved with all hands on deck.
In the past, there had been interventions that spurred the production of wheat to up to 350,000 hectares of land during the Green Revolution. But presently, we are undergoing another transformation in wheat, and that has a lot of promises at the end of the tunnel. The Central Bank of Nigeria is intervening with 130,000 hectares, and that means after a year of seed production, by next year you will reach up to 455,000 hectares of land, and in the third year even reach 1 million.
We have hearing that rain may cut off and leave us behind. But after 2 months, when we came to the farm, believe you me, everything was already germinating. The seeds were germinating. So procedure of planting these things and then the yield is very, very fast, man.
Okay. We were actually supposed to start this one by June, but we started it at the end part of July, and people were even started giving up that they are not going to reap anything from this. But after 1 month, we saw the whole thing change. So it's so timely and it's so fast.
The maturity cycle from the time of planting to the harvest is virtually 2 months and some weeks. Because if I could remember very vividly, we started this planting around late July. Now it is October. We really appreciate the government for kind of initiative and the laudable program of everybody should go back to farm. It is a wonderful one, and diversification of from oil to farming. It is something that is liberating people from poverty.
Without equivocation, the wheat revolution, like that of rice, proves that food security in Nigeria is possible if all stakeholders collaborate to sustain the gains of the crop revolution.
That's all from the CBN this week. You can report unresolved banking issues to the CBN Consumer Protection Department through the email address cpd@cbn.gov.ng with relevant documents. Call the CBN contact center used on the phone line +234 700 2255 226. Local queries may apply. Send your comments and contributions as well as inquiries to the email address fromthecbn@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter for updates and uploaded episodes of the program. We invite you to join us again next time. I am Uliyemi Sidada. Stay safe and bye for now.